Hey everyone, how you doing today? It's time to try some monster smut. Dear God help me. I'm not completely innocent or completely new to this, contrary to what I've said, where I've been like, oh, I don't really do that. Because I do remember, especially when I was looking up the blurb for this to remind myself what it was about, that it mentioned for especially for fans of World of Warcraft, and I was like suddenly hit with a flashback to sort of my teenage self who was a World of Warcrafter. I remembered quite vividly that certainly in my late teens to early 20s, I did have a brief period where I dabbled in reading fan fiction, specifically trolls. I just had a thing for them and I was kind of obsessed at one point. And then I'd forgotten about it until I read the blurb for this. Also, I'm already red in the face and haven't even started reading yet, but it's because I've just shut my window and the heating is on, so my room is now really warm. But this is Stealing the Troll's Heart by Leon Riley. It's called Trollkin Lovers, and my brain can't help but think Tolkien. But yeah, this is sort of like he's a troll, she's a human, and they smash. And I'm like, well, if this is going to be anything like the fan fiction that I remember reading as a teenager, it's going to be good. I think. I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to give it a go, and we shall see what I think. I may or may not record some of my reactions. I do not know. We shall see how it goes. Okay, straight off the bat, I really like they have content warnings. That's something that all books need, and I've noticed it more in indie than I have in trad pub. But yeah, I'm liking that they're breeding. Breeding is one of the content warnings. Could be good. I like the little chapter headings. I also really like the cover art for this. It's not really conducive to the story, but I wanted to say something. Okay, so I'm at the end of the first chapter thing. I'm actually really liking the writing. We've not got any smutty stuff because obviously we're introducing everyone, but everything's been really good, and the action descriptions have been on point. It's like, oh, it's actually like really. I don't expect they're going to be awful writing, but I don't really know what I was expecting. This is really well structured, and I'm enjoying the flow in the characters so far. Didn't expect that. I might actually really enjoy this in the end. It is the next day, and I've just remembered my Kindle is somewhere, so I can actually like show you and talk to you. Here we go. So I ended up reading Stealing the Troll's Heart in I think about an hour, something just over an hour maybe, and it was okay. I actually ended up giving it 4 stars, which I wasn't expecting to do, but it was fun. It was good. The plot was a little bit rushed, and I felt that it could have been spread out a lot more, and the smut was kind of like cool. About the only interesting thing here is that he's big, and that was it. Kind of, it was like, this he has tusks. You could have done way more with those. Just saying. And obviously, I remember in the books that the fan fiction that I read as a teen, I was kind of like, I have seen trolls do way more interesting things than what he's doing. So, I actually ended up enjoying it more for the plot and the characters than I did that side of things. And but it was pretty solid. It was 4 stars, and I enjoyed it. And the second book follows another character from this one, so I'm like, I do want to know what happens next, and I am invested. So it started off pretty okay, a little bit dull on the side, and then I was like, what else have I got? Because I know I had 3 sort of monster. I was like, okay, well, let's have a look at this one because it's only like 48 pages. And that was The Ogre's Pet, and by Cassandra Cross. And like, just the cover alone, this it was kind of, I had a lot of questions about the plot, aka, or more the world building, because it's like, oh, we all know not to go into the forest, we all know not to go into the woods, and I'm like, why? Like, why is that there? Why is he the only ogre? Why? I just had so many questions that, just because it was like just nonsensical to me, and it didn't make sense. The context wasn't there really to really appreciate it. The Again, it was just kind of like, the most interesting thing was that he was big. There was one particular moment that had me kind of like, I kind of feel weird about this. It was when he used a human's bone to do stuff, and I was like, oh, where's that humorous go? Oh, that's not very humorous to me. But again, I was kind of bored, because I was like, oh, about the only sort of, and I messaged Wren and I was like, okay, I've now read 2 of these monster books, and I'm not, I don't see what the hype is all about, because it's quite boring, and it's just, oh, they're a bit big. And it's like, if you're gonna have like that kind of thing, if they've got extra appendages, use them. If they have tusks, do things. And I was like, maybe it's just I'm reading the wrong thing, and maybe I need to like just get some tentacles involved or something, or tails, because that to me is far more interesting and is more what I would expect from a book called Monster. Not just, I think it was random saying like it's called a size kink, and it's like, oh, I don't have that. I'm just not interested. Like, it doesn't do it for me. And it just wasn't what I thought or what I'd hoped. And I was like, okay, this, I don't get the hype. I'm bored. And then I sort of made a joke about like, maybe I need stuff with tentacles, maybe I need a kraken. And then I was like, I need a kraken to fill the kraken. And Wren thought at first that I meant that I'd found a book called that, and then when they realised that no, that was just what I came up with as a pun, they were like, oh my god, you now need to write that. And Jona very quickly backed them up. So I'm like, oh dear god, is that where my writing career is going to end up? So now I'm on the lookout for actual, like, what I would think of as actual monster stuff. So I'm glad that I did the forry. I'm glad that I kind of worked out, and there were certain bits that I was like, yeah, I can, if it has more of this and less of that, I will quite enjoy it. But for the most part, I was just like, Also, this one I didn't feel was very well written, whereas the previous one, like Stealing the Troll's Heart, that actually had a really, like, the writing quality was really good, the characters was good, the dialogue was good, the characters were good, the dialogue was good, the setting was good. This one was literally just not for me. So this one got 2 stars. Troll's Heart got 4 stars. And I've definitely worked out very quickly what I don't enjoy, and I think I now need to read a bit more. One thing I do read is I read manga, like smutty manga and hentai. That's just always been a thing that I've done since I was a teenager. And I was like, I feel like I need to read more novels that have that kind of storyline, because the stuff that I read there is more monstery than what I've read here. So yeah. Like I said, it's not that I don't enjoy smut, it's just that it has to be written in a very specific way, or in a way that really grabs me, and it's very rare for me to find that, and I didn't find it in either of those books. But like I said, the other one had a really good story, so I enjoyed it. But yeah, that was my first foray into the world of monsters, and honestly, right now I'm bored and I need to find something that's a little bit more quirky, I guess. I don't know. Like in the first book, in Stealing the Troll's Heart, a couple of people comment that she just has like really random taste because she has no interest in humans, and then as soon as there's a monster she's like, woo, and I'm like, yeah, maybe I have the same problem. Anyway, let me know in the comments if you've got any like really good recommendations that you think I should get to that are on it, because I do want to find a couple of good ones, or I want to try. because it's not terrible. It's just I want to find something that's more my taste. This is such a weird video for me to be talking about and recording, and I'm very, very hyper conscious of the fact that my uncle is literally just on the other side of that wall. And they are very thin walls. Anyway, I'm gonna go. Let me know in the comments if you've got any recommendations. Catch you all later. Hope you're good, hope you're staying safe, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.